All right. Testing, 1, 2. Coming up. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. What's going on with my mic? Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, make sure I'm being heard. All right, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, peace, shalom, shalom. This is Moreh Yaakov. This is the lesson that I'm gonna be putting out for the Sabbath. So if you're coming in, make sure you press the like button. We're not just being seen on Facebook, on YouTube. We're also being seen on Facebook. So shalom, shalom. All praises to the Creator. All praises to the Creator. All praises, all praises, all praises. We thank the Creator for just allowing us to be here as we see the Sabbath is going to be coming in a couple of hours. I'm just doing the lesson, the Sabbath lesson early because we have a project, a discussion on tomorrow, why marriages in our community is broken. And we're going to have Rising Israel Radio, Sister Yakana, Minister James Havisham, and Moreh Yahayathim from Cincinnati. So we thank the Creator for all those who will be here on the panel tomorrow. That starts at 12 o'clock. We're going to have a real serious discussion. So make sure you drop in. Make sure you come in. Make sure you come in. Make sure you come in. Because we want everyone to be able to give their point of view. And we want to make sure everyone give their bring up some of your suggestions, because we're here to discuss, because this is something that we have to really talk about. It's not something that we should be able to just keep ignoring because it's getting worse. Thank you for joining me. This is Indigenous Talk for the Righteous Entertainment Network, LLC. We're trying to move forward. And also next week, we will have a big debate. Those who are Bible only versus those who believe in the Bible and the other books that comes along with the Bible. That's going to be a big one. So we thank the Creator. Tonight, this evening, we're going to be getting into part 22. But I want to address a couple of questions that came to me about the lesson that I'm talking about. A lot of us, we read, and say, okay, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's what it says. Let me pull out my little notebook, my hard paper. Because see, I also take notes as well. One question came to me saying that the Creator did not put Adam and Eve out of the garden. Let me pull up in my notes chapter 3. Give me a second. Okay, this is chapter 4 here. All right. Now, no, chapter 4 is where I need to go at. This is chapter 4. And it says, if I can go to, I'm trying to pull it up. You see, I got the paper right here. Okay. When he cursed, I'm gonna do two birds with one stone. Okay. When the first person that was cursed in the Adam and Eve story was the serpent. Okay. And when we look at when the serpent was cursed, okay, when we look at when the serpent was cursed, that's in part when the serpent came to the female and asked her, okay. And I'm gonna kind of touch on this real quick before I move forward. All right. Now, when the serpent was being cursed, okay, that's when she took of the fruit. She gave it to her husband. He ate. All right. And they both eyes were open. All right. Now I'm over here into this. All right. They were naked. Now, watch this. Just right here, when it says they sowed fig leaves, let's just dab that real quick. Okay? When it says that they sowed fig leaves, you would literally think that they sowed fig leaves around themselves. So they sowed fig, like a Newton fig. A fig is a foreign deviation, meaning the obtaining development of something from the source or the origin. So the tree of knowledge is foreign to them. That's foreign. The tree of knowledge have nothing to do with Adam and Eve. That was foreign knowledge. Okay? And when it says they sowed fig leaves, they were sowing something around them that was foreign. That wasn't literal no fig leaves. Fig leaves, they sowed fig leaves together. That's allegorical. So what they were sowing together, they were sowing the knowledge that they had done fell into, in the knowledge that they had according for their jurisdiction. That's what they were bringing together. They weren't literally sowing no fig leaves. Okay? Now, the apron, meaning they were trembling. The word apron means trembling. Okay? That wasn't no literal apron. They gird oneself, meaning to prepare oneself for action. Adam and Eve knew they messed up. And they knew they was falling away from everything that they saw everything of them slipping away. Let me keep going. Let me keep moving forward. This is verse 8. And it says, and they heard the voice. Now, right there, you will say, oh, that was Christ. That was not no Jesus Christ. When they say they heard, they was given ear. They was given ear. They perceived a voice. And that voice means the proclamation. What is a proclamation? They were now giving ear to a public or an official announcement. That's the voice that they heard. They heard an official announcement. Especially one dealing with the matter of great importance. What was that matter? Adam and Eve just fell. And it says they heard the proclamation of the fallout. But right here it got of the Lord. So what did the Lord tell them? They heard the voice of the Lord. What did they hear? Tell me, what was they hearing? What was they listening to? See, if we're not literally trying to break these words down, you're going to be misguided into the direction that you believe that this thing is talking about. It says they heard the proclamation of the fallout. Now notice it says walk. That next word is walk. Walk means to what? Proceed or to move. They heard the proclamation. Move or proceed in the cool. That word in the cool means the mind. Huh? So where was the proclamation? It was already in them. There was nobody had to come and tell them anything. Everything was already inside of Adam and Eve. They heard the fallout because they felt they saw themselves falling away from. See? They heard themselves falling away from. Now let's go. Let me go to the next one. Of the day, meaning that's the decision of time. And to hide oneself. You know what it means to hide oneself? They had a drawback. They had a drawback, family. What drawback did they have? They realized what they did was wrong. They realized that they fucked up. And there's something that they couldn't straighten out. From the presence, meaning the face or the surface of the ground. Meaning they knew they had a drawback from the ground. What it means to have a drawback from the ground? They realized that they are losing now. They done lost everything. They losing their jurisdiction. Of the Lord, meaning the fallout. The word God means the divine one. Among means between. The divine one between trees. What the word trees means to shut the eyes, to shut or to close. The divine one between shut or close. See? What did they shut? The knowledge of Adam. It was shut. See, this is allegorical. Let me go to my next page and then I'm gonna move forward. See, this is page 10. I know the light right there, but this is page 10. You can see it right there. You can see the words right there. This is page 10. Verse 10, excuse me. See? Let me go to the next one. Page 11, verse 11. See, all my stuff is written down. All my stuff is written down. When they talk about the Creator put him out, the Creator didn't put him out. I'm gonna prove that in a second. And when we say that that Eve had sex with the devil, there's no scripture that supports that. Regardless of how we feel about it, you don't have no scripture that supports that Eve had sex with the devil. See, the Bible says right here when it had a drawback, he says, I was afraid. You know what he said when he was afraid? It means he was standing at awe. He was shocked. That's what that means. Adam was shocked because he realized what was really taking place. And he couldn't stop it. All he could do is just watch everything just fall apart. And the word naked means to be subtle. See? That meaning change or distraction so delicate or precise as to be difficult to analyze or describe. See, Adam had a drawback. Adam and Eve had a drawback from falling. But we don't believe that. We don't believe that. We think that everything was still cool. In verse 11, and it says, and he said, who told? That word told means to announce or to declare or make known that you were naked. See, that word naked goes back to what? To be subtle or to take crafty counsel. Who did you take crafty counsel from? Because you're dealing with the tree of knowledge. Who did you take crafty counsel from? Who did you take crafty counsel from? And that word have eaten means to devour. Who you took crafty counsel from and devoured more than and out of that solid thing that is not yielding to you. Who told you to do that? See, this is what the story of Adam and Eve is talking about. But we don't believe it. Let me get to verse 15. Let me get into verse 15. This is verse 13. Let me get into verse 15 because let me address verse 15 for the question that came about on my plate today. Verse 14. This is verse 15. And he says, and I will put means to station or appoint. The Creator is going to appoint, but enmity. Enmity means hatred, meaning an intense dislike or an ill will. So he's going to put an ill will or an intense dislike between, meaning in the midst of the woman, meaning the wife. Okay? He's going to put an intense dislike between the woman, that's the wife, and between, that's in the midst of thy seed, meaning the serpent seed, that's the offspring or the descendants, and in the midst of her seed, that's the offspring or the descendants. It's not talking about she have a seed. It's talking about her descendant line. I'm going to show you where her descendant line is. Okay? Then when you keep reading, it says it. What is the it? It meaning the female shall desire. That's what that word bruise means. The female is going to desire. thy head. Not the seed of the female. The female is going to desire the head, meaning the upper part or the chief. She's going to desire to be the chief. And thou, meaning the serpent, shall bruise. Notice it used the word his, H-I-S. His ain't even there in that language. Shall bruise, meaning the serpent is going to desire to heal. Because if I use what's there in the English, it's pointing back to Adam, because Eve and Adam became one. So when you're talking about her, you're literally still talking about him as well. Shall bruise, meaning to desire his heel. That's the footprint. The hind part, meaning to follow closely behind its owner. Now, what does that mean? That means the serpent is going to do what, family? The serpent is going to play throw the rock and hide your hand. That's what that's talking about right here. Throw the rock and hide thy hand. That's not literally talking about the woman have a seed. It's not talking about Cain came from the devil. It's telling you that the female is going to want to be the head. And that's why when you get into the man curse, the male curse, it says, and you shall desire, and he shall rule thee. I mean, the female curse, and he shall rule, meaning he's going to have to fight to get back in. He's going to have to literally fight her to be able to subdue her. They're going to be at war with each other within their own house. But see, when you read this thing literal, this is the stuff that you get. I'm not going to go no further. This is the stuff that you get. A lot of this stuff is not literal. I mean, it's literal, but you got to take it in the right context. You can't just sit there and say, oh, that's what this means. Because that's not what it means. So that's what we have to really pay attention to. We have to pay attention to what's really taking place. Okay? It's not literal. I mean, it's literal, but you have to decipher what it's talking about. Okay? So let's move forward. I wanted to break it down a little bit. Just wanted to break it down a little bit. Just wanted to break it down a little bit. Let me blow the shofar. So we have to think about what the scriptures are saying. Let's get some words of encouragement. We thank the Creator for this week coming to a close upon the sunset. And we thank the Creator for protecting us and providing for us, stabilizing us, loving us, guiding us, even when we're wrong. the Creator still shows mercy to give us the opportunity to correct it. We thank the Creator for food, shelter, transportation, protection from our oppressors, protection from danger that could end our purpose. But we thank the Creator that his purpose is going to what? Survive and come forth. Nothing going to stop the purpose of the Creator, nor the will. We thank the Creator for allowing us to wake up, to be able to see what is true and what's a lie. We thank the Creator for just allowing us to prosper. Where's that we can survive within this captivity? We thank the Creator to allow us to see that this captivity is coming to an end. And even those who don't believe in him shall believe in him when judgment comes. So I thank the Creator for protecting my house, guiding me, protecting me. Like I always say, this may not be your Shabbat, but this is my Shabbat coming in. Some of y'all believe that the Shabbat come in, you know, when the sun come up. I don't see how that is. You know? But hey, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Because if that's what you believe, hey, I ain't mad at you. But I know one thing. You can't prove that with scripture. That the Sabbath starts on the sunrise. You can't prove that with scripture. You cannot prove that with scripture. I mean, even the baby laughing. Even they got the baby laughing. But without no further ado, we're going to move forward. And we're going to get into the lesson. Because we're not going to be long tonight. We're not going to be long tonight. And I hope you're getting some point of views from out of what is being taught. We are in the patriarchs now. We are inside of the patriarchs. Okay? This is what we're in. We are in the patriarchs. And we are reading the point of Seth. Seth means compensation. The Creator was compensating Adam back for losing Abel. Now, why would a Creator compensate you after you have fell in sin? Because when he compensated Adam with Seth, that was showing Adam repented. He repented. He repented. Nah, I was just looking for the laughing emoji. That's not for what I said. It's funny. But those who did say that the Sabbath starts on the sunrise, that's funny. Now that's funny. But Adam repented, and that's why the Creator ended up giving him Seth, which means compensation. And then from Seth, you had Enos. Enos, which means man. Okay? Enos means man. And from Enos came Kainan. And Kaianon, let me pull him up. Kaianon, that's K-A-I-N-A-N. Okay? Means possession. Kaianon was Enu's son, which means possession. Okay? And Kaianon went from, he produced it, Mahaliel. Okay? He produced it, Mahaliel. Mahaliel means praise of the Creator. Meaning it's time to put the Creator and give him the praise. That's what Kaiana means. Giving the Creator the praise. Okay? And this is where we're going to pick up at. All right? We're going to pick up Genesis, the 5th chapter, verse 22, because we're talking about the patriarchs. Okay? Just give me 1 second. We're talking about the patriarchs. And the patriarchs is the bloodline that we must pay attention to. And I'm going to explain why. Because the Creator gave Seth to Adam to be able to bring about what the Creator needed done. We thank the Creator for Sister Yakana being in the chat. The link is in the chat if anybody wants to come up and join. But a lot of this stuff, you have to literally look at the words in the contextual of what the sentence is saying. But a lot of us, we don't, I know some of us, we just read it verbatim. And hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But Genesis, the 5th chapter, verse 13. This verse shows how long Cayenne ruled. We're going to talk about that because we're going to go to the book of Jubilees once again. And we're going to see during Cayenne's rule what all he did. Okay? This is what we have to remember. What did Cayenne do? See, because we have to understand what was taking place during Noah's time. Before Noah. Because the Bible's like literally getting into it, but it just don't give you any type of what? Breakdowns of what was taking place. So we have to now guess about what was there. So we're going to go to the book of Jubilees. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up over here. Book of, not Jubilees, Jasher. No, Jubilees. No, it ain't Jasher. The hell I'm doing. Book of Jasher, the second chapter. We're going to go to the book of Jasher, the second chapter. I got Jubilees down here. I got to change that. The book of Jasher, the second chapter. And we're going to read. Is it the book of Jubilees? Let me see. No, the book of Jasher. Second chapter. I just popped in the third. So the book of Jasher, the second chapter, we're going to read starting at verse 9 through 15. This is what we're going to do. We're going to read verse 9 through 15. And it says, and it was when men continued to rebel and transgress against the Creator. Men. Now I want you to pay attention to this. It says when men began to rebel and transgress against the Creator, and to corrupt their ways, that the earth also became corrupt. Now, what's taking place here? Who is these men? I'm going to show you that in a second. Men began to corrupt themselves. Men continue to rebel. Do you know what rebel means? That's a rebel. They fighting against. They standing against. See, rebel. What is the definition for rebel? Rebel means a person who rise in what? Composition or armed resistance against an established government. See? That means during the time Seth lineage through the Creator established a government on the earth. Okay? And transgress. What the word transgress means? Transgress means to what? To go beyond the bounds. So men continue to what? Rebel. To go against the established government. And they didn't just go against the established government. They went beyond the bounds. Meaning they had no boundaries. That means anything went, anything goes. And it says, and to corrupt their ways. Well, hold on. What ways are they corrupting? I'm going to show you that in a second. Corrupt their ways. We're going to see who these men were. That the earth also became corrupt. So you're telling me that the earth became corrupt during Kayana time? The whole earth, it says the earth became corrupt. Because if you go just above that in verse 8, it says the seed which they sown in those days in the ground became thorns, thistles, and briars. For from the days of Adam, for from the days of Adam, like I told a brother, there was a famine that touched the garden. It was in the garden. That's why it says in the days of Adam, the Creator cursed the ground in the garden that caused the famine. In the days of Adam was this declaration concerning the earth. What declaration? Famine. They couldn't sow no seeds. And if they did sow the seeds, it wasn't reluctant that the earth was going to give back the fruits of that seed. Of the curse of the Creator, which he cursed the earth on the account of the sin which who? Adam sinned before the Creator. So like I told you, there was a famine that when Adam and Eve did what they did, that was the only place where food were, in the enclosure. Once when Adam and Eve sinned, the enclosure was it was strict with famine. That's why I told the brother Adam and Eve didn't get put out. They had to go and hunt for food now because the garden was not bringing the food back up to them. Okay? So the whole earth was corrupt because you just didn't have them being rebels and transgressing, means they going beyond the boundaries. There was no food. The earth wasn't producing what it was supposed to be producing for man. So Enos lived 90 years and begot Cainan. Verse 11 in the book of Jasher, the 2nd chapter, and it says, and Cainan grew up, and he was what, 40 years old, and he became wise and had knowledge and skills in all wisdom. That's the same thing what they said about Daniel. So Cainan, he had all wisdom. He understood the knowledge. He had skills in all wisdom. And he reigned over the sons of men. Who is the sons of men? The sons of men were Cain's lineage. That was Cain's lineage. He ruled over them. He ruled over all the sons of men. And he led the sons of men to wisdom and knowledge. See, the Creator was trying to show mercy to Cain's lineage through the patriarchs. He was trying to show mercy to them. And it says he reigned over all the sons of men, and he led the sons of men to wisdom and knowledge. He led them, meaning that Cain's lineage was looking for a way out. Cain's lineage wanted redemption. For Cainan was a very wise man and had understanding in all wisdom, meaning you couldn't put a rug over his face. He was just that, he was just that close with the Creator. The Creator blessed this brother. And with his wisdom, he ruled over what? Spirits and demons. That means this brother was also controlling the other realm. He wasn't just controlling the realm that he was on, he was controlling the other planes. His brother was powerful. But why would spirits and demons be amongst Cain's people? Was some of his people mixing in with those demons and spirits? Was they? Was they mixing in with the demons and spirits? And it says, and in those days, Cainan wrote upon tablets of stone what was to take place in times to what? Come. Because you already had a flood that flooded the third parts of the earth. But see, the Creator already had gave Cainan vision for the future. And he had great common sense. That's wisdom. And he put them in his treasure. Meaning when he wrote this thing, he put this thing within his treasure. Meaning if you wanted to understand the prophecy, you had to come to him. Because you know, sometimes you can't give a knowledge. You can't give a fool knowledge. Because a fool will take knowledge and destroy it. He put that prophecy among his treasures. Because the brother already knew that there's a lot of fools that's out there. Verse 14, and Kayana reigned over the earth, the whole earth. It didn't say piece of the earth. Kayana ruled over the whole earth. And he turned some of the sons of men to the service of the Creator. I want you to pay attention to that. He turned some of them. So what that meant for the other parts that was not turned. They stayed mixing, mingling, and fellowshipping with demons and spirits and the fallen. See, there was two types of men on the earth. It was Cain's men and there was Seth's men. It was two types of spirits on the earth. In verse 15 says what? And when Kayana was 70 years old, he begat 3 sons and daughters. He was bearing children. Huh? Let's drop down to verse 19. For in those days, the sons of men began to trespass against the Creator and to do what? And to what? To transgress the commandments which he had commanded to Adam. I thought Adam didn't have commandments. I thought there was new laws on the earth from Moses. That's why the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. That's why it says nothing new under the sun. To be fruitful and multiply in the earth. I thought he didn't give that commandment to Adam. According to the book of Joshua, he did. I was telling you, Genesis 1:26 was dealing with Adam as well. But we say, no. Adam was chapter 8. I mean, chapter 2, verse 8. Book of Joshua just confirmed Genesis 1:26. That was a law. That was a literal law. Verse 20, and some of the sons of men caused their wives to drink a drought. What is that drought? A drought that will render them barren. So hold on, you mean to tell me they had birth control back then too? Yeah. They had birth control, family. Men back then didn't want to be a father back then either. They caused their wives to drink a draught that will render them barren in order that they might retain their figures. And that's what females do in the day. They want to stay that little Coca-Cola bottle shape. And whereby their beauty appearance might not fade. Huh? Because and that go my figure. This what they was doing during the time of Kayana and Enus. Some of them began to follow the knowledge of the Creator. And some of them, they just stayed out there doing the things they wanted to do. Especially the women, they didn't want to lose their Coca-Cola bottle shape. They didn't want to lose their beauty. Look at what verse 22 says. And the childbearing woman, meaning she can have a child, appeared abominable. She appeared abominable in the sight of their husbands as widows. Ooh, that's heavy. Let me read that again. And the childbearing woman appeared abominable in the sight of their husbands as widows. I mean, that's the feminization. See, feminization is not new. They was like, I don't need him. The man is in my way. See, that's the feminization, family. Where their husbands lived. See? The female went into the homes and was disrespecting the man as if the man didn't matter. And it says, for to barren ones only they were attached. See, this is what was taking place. These are some of the things that was taking place during the time of Kayana. That's why he wrote on the stone and he hid it within his treasure, because he knew that these folks a lot of these folks just ain't going to be saved. You can't save them. And then you got to ask yourself the question, why would you want to save some of these people? Why would you want to save some of these people? Why? Why would you want to save some of these people? So that's when we go back to chapter 5, verse 13. See, this verse shows how long Kayana ruled. Because remember, it says he ruled the whole earth. And he brought some of Cain's people under the knowledge and wisdom. Someone was following him. And Kayana brought who? Who did he bring? He brought his son, who was Mahalalel. Mahalalel means the praise of God, the praise of the Creator. So verse 14 verse 14 I'm trying to pull it up real quick. Just give me 1 second. Genesis, the 5th chapter, verse 14. And this is what it says here. And in all the days of Cainan were 910 years, and he died. And with this showing in verse 14, this shows that Cainan gave up the rulership, but also his life. Okay? He gave up his life, meaning it was time for him to go ahead on to move on out. In verse 15, Salakia. And Mahalalel lived 60 and 5 years, and begot Jared. Jared means descent. Verse 15 shows Mahalalel bringing forth the next ruler, which is Jared, which means descent. And that word descent means the origin or background of a person in terms of family or nationality. So why is this important? Because now Jared is here to now separate. He's here now to separate. He's here to separate. See, each patriarch has their own purpose of why they came. See, that's the same thing like people that is born here on the earth. You have a purpose. What is your purpose? See, Jared was here to now bring family and nationality. See? Family and nationality. Because it's important when it comes to the Creator. The Creator don't like mixed seed. The Creator do not. And that's why when I look at verse 16, it says, and Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 850 years, and he begot sons and daughters. So verse 16 only shows what? This verse shows Mahalalel bring forth Jared into position. So Jared is the next rulership. He's the next patriarch. And Mahalalel brought forth what? Sons and daughters. He continued the lineage. Okay? And that's why you have verse 17 coming up. Verse 17 shows Mahalalel did not give up the power of reign, but also his breath. And that's why it says, and all the days of Mahalalel were 890 and what? 5 years, and he died. He died. That verse showing you that his reign came to an end. Now is Jared's time to fully rule. Okay, and that's why you have verse 19. Verse 19 says, and Jared lived and 962 years, and he begot Enoch or Kanuk. See, this verse 19. This is the confirmation verse of Jared bringing up his son for rulership. And who was his son? His son was Enoch. See, that's what this is talking about. He's bringing forth his son. And Jared's son was Enoch. Enoch. In verse 20. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. He's out of the way now. This verse shows the end of Jared's rulership. And see, it's nothing really big about this. It's just going through the patriarchs. What was their time? What was their purpose? And after they fulfilled their purpose, they moved on. That's what this is. That's all this is showing. Verse 21, and Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. This is verse 21, the 5th chapter, verse 21. Enoch begot Methuselah. See, verse 21 shows you that Enoch brought forth the next leadership and son for leadership. And Methuselah means the man of the dart, D-A-R-T. A dart is a metal point, missile, weapon thrown by the hand. Old French dart, throwing, spear, arrow. So this brother, he had a precise or a precision of how he threw. He was accurate when he threw. That's what this brother was. He was very accurate at how he threw. He was very accurate at how he threw. So now we're dealing with Enoch. Enoch. Okay? But let's go to verse 22 real quick. And the Bible says, and Enoch walked with the Creator after he begat Methuselah 300 years and begot sons and daughters. So it sounds like after when he put Methuselah there in power, he left. Is that true? Is that true? Didn't he just leave like that? But let's go to the book of Jasher, the 4th chapter. Let's go to the 4th chapter of the book of Jasher. Because we have to pay attention to break these scriptures in to be able to decipher what was really taking place. But let's go to the 3rd chapter. I don't know why I got the 4th chapter right here. The 3rd chapter. Because in Genesis, it says, and Enoch walked with the Creator. Well, the book of Joshua, the 3rd chapter, starting at verse 1, it says, and Enoch lived 65 years and he begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with the Creator after having begot Methuselah. So it sounds saying, King James is saying, like after him and his wife produced Methuselah, he left. But notice what it says afterwards. And he served the Creator and despised the evil ways of men. Well, let's see who this men is talking about. Let's go to verse 2. And the soul of Enoch was what? Wrapped up in the instructions of the Creator. So that means this brother wasn't breaking rank at all. He was wrapped up in the law, in the instructions of the Creator, the law, in knowledge and in understanding. And he was wisely retired from the sons of men. That means he's not mixing and mingle with them folks no more. He separated himself. You know, sometimes you can have people too long and now you become a part of them. That's what it's saying. He separated from them. And what it says, secreted himself from them for many days. He consecrated himself from these people, man, because sometimes you can hang up around a lot of people. And if you hang up around a lot of people, brother or sisters, what you think gonna happen? Them spirits gonna jump on you. And that's why Enoch, he had to separate himself for many days. But some of us, we think, oh man, I'm good. I ain't worried about all that. That ain't nothing gonna happen to me. Nah, I'm good. You know, I'm tough as nails. Even a man who was wrapped up in the instructions of the Creator in knowledge and understanding and was wisely, this man knew he had to sometimes get away from those spirits. He had to get away from those spirits many days. He had to pump himself back with what? Energy of the Creator. Because a lot of things around you are energy drainers. I want you to think about that. A lot of things around you are energy drainers. They're mosquitoes. They're draining your energy. Verse 3, and it says, and it was at the expiration of many years, whilst he was serving the Creator and praying. He was serving the Creator, he was praying before him in where? His house. He wasn't in no church or no temple. Enoch was home. That's why you got to be very careful. In your house need to be squared up. See, a lot of our houses is not fitting for the Creator to even be there. The presence of the Creator to even be there. It's not. And a lot of us, we don't understand. Enoch prayed in his house. He was home. And the angel of the Creator called to him from heaven. And he said, what Enoch said, the same thing what Samuel said. Here am I. What Samuel was told to say, here am I. Huh? Here am I. Verse 4 says, and he said, rise, go forth from your house. He was told to leave because remember, he had to separate from those people on the outside of his house. That's why your house, you're supposed to protect at every moment, every second of the hour. You don't supposed to just let anything come into your house. So the angel told Enoch to rise and go forth from your house and from the place where thou hid yourself, which was his house. See, a lot of people, they don't like their own house. They don't like their house. They don't like their house. So they run from their house, thinking that they're going to have shelter someplace else. Huh? They thinking that they're going to have shelter from someplace else. This what some people think, that I could just run and be safe away from my house. See, even Enoch knew better than that. Enoch knew better than that. That's why you can't. Enoch understood he had to be home. But see, some people, they run away from home. Huh? They run away from home. See, you get the confirmation from home. That's where you get the confirmation from the Creator. You get it from your house. You don't get confirmation from just all over the place. See, a lot of us, we think that we could just be all over the place. You can't be all over the place, family. You can't be all over the place, family. Huh? Enoch had to be home. I want that to sink in your mind. I want that to sink in your mind. Enoch had to be home. His separation was home. His separation was home. That's how he ended up being in the presence of the Creator. That's how the angel came to visit him. The angel didn't visit him nowhere else. That's why it's very important to protect your house. You have to protect your house. You have to protect your house. So the angel told Enoch to rise and go forth from your house, the place where thou hid thyself, and appear to the sons of men. He said, go back to the people who you ran from, you separated from, in order that thou mayest what? Teach them the ways in which they shall what? Go, and the work which they must accomplish to enter in the ways of the Creator. So sometimes you got to remember, this walk ain't for you. This walk is for you to show and help others. That's what this work is for. sometimes you may have to go somewhere, separate and rest up and, clean yourself up, but then you got to get back out there again. Because you were put here for other people. You wasn't put here for yourself. That's why we don't understand. You were put here to help others. You were put here to help others. But a lot of us, we become selfish. The angel was sending him right back to the sons of men, Cain's lineage, to teach them the ways of the Creator. That they should go and the work which they must accomplish. So they got to know the ways, and he must teach them the ways, and he must teach them the works that they must what? Accomplish. See, a lot of us, we goof off by going out to have fun, but you don't know, if you ain't trying to fulfill your purpose, you just wasting time. So the angel sent Enoch right back amongst the people to teach them the ways of the Creator and the works that they must accomplish. Verse 5, and Enoch rose up according to the word of the Creator and went forth from where? His house. And from his place and from the chamber in which he was what? Concealed. Meaning it wasn't nobody really knew where Enoch was if you didn't know the layout of his house. Huh? And he went to the sons of men and taught them the ways of the Creator. And at that time assembled the sons of men and acquired them with the instructions of the Creator. Now I want you to think about this. A lot of times we get into our feelings and we don't realize that when you are off track, you are causing other people to go off track as well. And that blood is going to be on your hand. When we are not fulfilling our purpose, then tell me, what purpose are you fulfilling? We're supposed to be in tune with the Creator so that we can hear the Creator like Enoch did. He had to go back among those who he separated himself from, who he hid himself from. When the Creator realized he had enough time, it's time for you to get back out there again. Verse 6, and he ordered it to be proclaimed in all places where the sons of men dwelt. That means, brother, sister, I can't be a closed mouth. See, whom you think the Creator hate, he don't hate. Whom you think the Creator is going to destroy, he may not destroy. Whom you think the Creator is going to judge harshly, he may not judge harshly. We just supposed to be trying to fulfill the purpose that he put us here for. That's the cat. You're not here to do nothing but fulfill the purpose within yourself that he purposed you to do. So Enoch had to go back amongst the ones that he separated, he ran from. He went up among where they all dwelt at, saying, where is the man who wishes to know the ways of the Creator and good works? He had to go and proclaim that thing among those people. He had to allow them to make their choice. He had to allow them to make their choice. Let him come to Enoch. See, he's not forcing them. He put it out there, and they had to make their own choice. Verse 7. And all the sons of what men then assembled to him. Notice what happened? All the sons of men. See, a lot of times we don't give the opportunity for people that was put in our position to be able to come and assemble. Because we got our own desires going on. We trying to fulfill our own purpose. Not the Creator's purpose, but your purpose. And a lot of people that was put in your possession for you to bring for them to hear the word, you let them walk away and stay in sin. And how do we think that's going to pan out? How do we think that's going to pan out? How do we think that's going to pan out? Just give me 1 second. How do we think that is going to pan out? How? How do we think? How do we think it's going to pan out? He told him to come to him. That means you have people that's in the midst that you meet in your circle. They're supposed to hear the word from you. But a lot of us, we don't care because why? We're going to do our own pleasures. And those people will never hear the word that was put in you come from you. Because notice, it says, and all the sons of men then assemble to him. For all who desire this thing, for all who desire. See, they had to come to that decision. They had to desire this thing. Went to Enoch, and Enoch reigned ever. The sons of men. He reigned over the ones that wanted to learn. That's the same thing when the Creator put possessions in your possession. The possessions are the people that needs to hear the word that comes from you. And if you are in place, you will rule over them. Not ruling like they're going to bow and bring you tea. But you will be able to help them, guide them, show them, elevate them. But when you ain't in place, then that means those ones that was given to you can't rise. So they assemble. And Enoch reigned ever the sons of men, according to the word of the Creator. And they came and bowed to him, and they heard his words. When you're following the Creator, you don't have to worry about who like you and who don't like you. The purpose of the Creator is going to be done. The purpose of the Creator is going to be done. They came to hear the word. See, a lot of us, we get into our feelings. We get into our desires. That's what we get into. And we think that the Creator is going to move. Nah, you might as well. The only thing judgment going to do is be what? Load up against you. That's what judgment going to do. Judgment going to load up against you. And then sooner or later, what's going to happen? Judgment going to come after you're behind. Because you're not doing what the Creator asked you to do. So that's why we have to be very careful. We have to pay attention to what Enoch was doing. Okay? So they all hear the word of the Creator. Verse 8. And the spirit of the Creator was upon Enoch. So you got to know when did the Creator give you that purpose? Because he's going to make sure that purpose get fulfilled. He's going to make sure that the purpose get fulfilled. He's going to make sure. The spirit of the Creator was upon Enoch, and he taught all his men the wisdom of the Creator and the ways of the Creator. And the sons of men served the Creator all the days of who? Enoch. If you're doing the right thing, family, you don't have to make nobody do anything. Enoch went among them and say, anybody want to serve the Creator, come on over here. They had to want this thing for themselves. They had to want it. They served Enoch. They served the Creator. They served him. They served the Creator. Enoch taught them wisdom, knowledge, and the ways of the Creator, and he made peace among them. Well, let me back up. And they bowed to him, and they also required of Enoch to reign over them, to which he consented. Don't you know? People, the Bible says, with that scripture, he says he'll make your enemies, he'll make your enemies your footstool. In that scripture. And that's what was happening with Enoch. he was making the enemies of Adam become the footstool of Adam. You don't have to fight. But see, a lot of us, we try to make things happen. And you don't need to do that, family. You don't need to make things happen. He'll bring your enemies before you and make them bow. He'll make them bow. Verse 10, and they assembled in all 130 kings and princes, and they made Enoch king over them, and they were all under his power and command. Who power they was under? They was under the Creator. Even people that was in rule, even the people that had the power came under the Creator's power by Enoch. You don't have to make and force anything. You don't have to do it, family. They put Enoch king. They made Enoch king. They made him king. Verse 11, and Enoch taught them wisdom, knowledge, and the ways of the Creator, and he made peace among them. He made peace among them. Because why? They were fighting. He made peace among them, and peace was what? Throughout the earth during the time of Enoch. A lot of times we have chaos around us because we are out of order. A lot of times people don't respect you because you're out of order. You're out of order. Verse 12, and Enoch reigned over the sons of men 243 years. And he did justice and righteousness with all the people, and he led them in the ways of the Creator. Enoch was not scared how people was going to treat him. Enoch wasn't scared. He wasn't scared. He did what he had to do. Verse 13, and the sons, and these are the generations of Enoch: Methuselah, Elisha, Amalek, 3 sons and 3 sisters, Malka, Namar, and Methuselah lived 87 years, and he begat what? Lamech. Enoch begat Lamech. And it was in the what? 56 years of the life of Lamech when Adam died. See, I don't get into all the dates. I'm just reading it. 990 years old was he at his death, and the 2 sons with Enoch and Methuselah, his son, buried him with great pomp, and at the burial of kings, in the cave which the Creator had told him. Verse 15, and in all, and in that place, all the sons of men made a great mourning and weeping on the account of Adam, because they understood who Adam were. And it has therefore become a custom among the sons of men till this day, meaning what? To cry at funerals. Before it wasn't crying. But now there's crying at funerals. See how things are being twisted? It says it's a custom till this day. Verse 16, and Adam died because he ate of the tree of knowledge, he and his children after him, as the Creator has what? Spoken it. So there's a curse on Adam's lineage. Excuse me. There's a curse on his lineage. And verse 17, and it was in the year of Adam's death, which was the 243rd year of the reign of Enoch. In the time of Enoch, resolved to separate himself from the sons of men and to secret himself as at first in order to serve the Creator. So he separated himself so as that he can be able to serve the Creator like the Creator wanted him to. You can't serve the Creator unless you 100% submit to the Creator. You can't do what the Creator purposed you to do until you become separated. That's the only time when you're going to really hear what the Creator has for you and purpose for you. But a lot of us, we like to hang up around the hustle and bustle, all the lights in the sounds of what's going on during the day. That's what we like to hear. Verse 18, and Enoch did so, but did not entirely secret himself from them. He didn't hide himself totally from them. They knew where he were. But kept away from the sons of men 3 days, and then went to them for 1 day. See, sometimes in order to get peace, family, you got to separate from those things that's causing havoc in your life. But some of us, we just like to just go up around people, catch all kind of demons, catch hell, and then we try to pray, knowing that we ain't supposed to be around those things. We just continue to keep, we just want to hang up around spirits. Oh, no, it ain't gonna bother me. And then when those spirits grab you and drag you and stomp you and kick you and do all these things, now looking up and talking about, oh, Lord, help me. Oh, Lord, help me. Please help me. I promise you, if you help me, I won't do this no more. I promise you I'll serve you. I promise you I won't break no more commandments. Huh? That's what we do. That's what we do, family. Enoch had to break away from me. And then when he got himself strong, he went back up among the sons of men. Huh? Verse 19. And during the 3 days that he was in his chamber, he wasn't all over the place, trying to find some place to go. He was home. Your safe zone is your house. Your safe zone ain't no place else but your home. But we run away from our house. He prayed too. He praised the Creator, his power, and the day on which he went and appeared to his subjects, he taught them the ways of the Creator. And all they asked him about the Creator, and he told them. See, a lot of us, we don't like to praise the Creator. We think that's effeminate. We think that's effeminate when we sing songs to the Creator. We don't like to do no praising. We just like to go straight into scriptures. We don't do no praying. We don't do nothing. And then we say the Creator talked to us. We talking about the Creator has spoke to me. Oh, I seen him on a cloud. You don't do no talking. You don't do no praying, no praising. You don't do nothing for the Creator. You see how that works? It says he prayed and he praised the Creator, his power, and the day on which he went and appeared on to the subjects. He taught them the ways of the Creator. And all they asked him about the Creator, and he told them. Sometimes you got to see, when people know what you're about, they're going to ask questions, especially when they know that you are not trying to you straight up at what you believe. They realize this thing. And it says, verse 20, it says, and he did in this manner for many years. See, some of us, we get tired, brother. We get tired that first day, man. That's sad. That's sad. We get tired that we got souls on our feet. The Bible says Enoch taught them for many years, and he afterwards concealed himself for 6 days. Do you realize what that is? This man been out there teaching for years, and then he only rested for 6 days. Remember what we read at the beginning? He was wrapped in the instructions of the Creator. And after that, once in a month, and then once in a year, until all the kings, princes, and sons of men sought for him. See, you can't stop being among these people, family, especially if that's your purpose. Your life have to reflect the law. But see, a lot of us, we wants to hang up around these people. We wants to do the things we want to do. They sought for him and desire again to see the face of Enoch. You know, sometimes when you come up in the midst of people, sometimes people don't even want to see you. They don't even want to see your face. They get tired of being around you. Oh, here she come again. Nah, I ain't trying to mess with her. Nah, walk the other way. And make it like you don't even see them. You know, hold your finger up like you in church. See? They sought for him and he taught them. And desire again to see his face and to hear his word. They wanted to hear the word, but they could not. Why? Because they wasn't in the right frame of mind. As all the sons of men were greatly afraid of Enoch. They was afraid of him. How many people is afraid of listening to the wisdom that you got? How many people is afraid of you? Huh? Afraid means reverence. See, we don't even reverence people no more. We don't reverence each other no more. Because a lot of us is not in the right frame of mind. We're not even in the right spirit. People should be able to feel your spirit, your presence when you come into the room where they're at. Your presence should alter. Whenever you come in the room, people look at you. They stop what they're doing. They just look at you because they can feel your vibes. They can feel the frequency. They feared Enoch. They was afraid of him. They feared to approach him on the account of the God-like awe. See, when the Bible says Enoch walked off the face of the earth, this thing he just didn't walk off. I'm showing you what took place. This man handled his business. He handled his business when it came to the instructions of the Creator. And they feared to approach him on account of the godlike awe that was seated upon his countenance. The fear of the Creator was upon his countenance. We're talking about Enoch. Therefore, no man could look at him, fearing he might be punished and died. Enoch's presence was powerful. His presence was powerful. And all the kings and princes resolved to assemble the sons of men and to come to Enoch, thinking that they might all speak to him at the same time when he should come forth among them, and they did so. See, everybody got together. It ain't like you trying to send, like, hey, brother, go ask them, and we'll sit back and watch and see what they do. Y'all know how they do. Y'all know how some people do. They scared. Psalms 110:1 scripture for the footstool. That's right. That's right, sis. That's right. That's the scripture for the footstool. Because the footstool, we have to realize that the footstool is for the Creator. We're supposed to uphold him at all costs. We don't supposed to just be sitting there just doing whatever. Nah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. Okay? So Enoch, the people, they began to celebrate him. They have respect for him. I want you to think about that. They had respect for Enoch. They had respect for him. And they came to hear what Enoch was talking about, teaching. Verse 21, and all the kings and princes resolved to assemble the sons of men and to come to Enoch, thinking that they all might speak all at once to him when he should come forth among them, and they did so. Verse 22, and the day came when Enoch went forth, and they all assembled and came to him, and Enoch spoke to them the words of the Creator, and he taught them wisdom and knowledge. And they bowed down before him, and they say, may the king live. May the king live. Huh? May the king live. They reverence Enoch. See, it's one thing when you are reverenced, when people respect you. But it's another thing when people don't respect you. Verse 23, and in the same time after, when the kings and princes and the sons of men were speaking to Enoch, and Enoch was teaching them the ways of the Creator, behold, the angel of the Creator then called unto Enoch from heaven. The angel is now calling Enoch again from heaven. He's getting his attention and wished to bring him up to the heavens to make him reign over the sons of God. Hold on. Notice it went from the sons of men now to the sons of God that the Creator wanted Enoch to reign over. This man was this powerful. His teachings was this powerful. As he had reigned over the sons of men upon the earth. So the Bible is making a difference between the sons of men and the sons of God. That's a silencer. He wanted Enoch to reign over the heavens. Verse 24, when at that time Enoch heard this, he went and assembled all the inhabitants of the earth. That's animals, that's man, all the inhabitants, everything that was inhabiting the earth. He had that much control over it. And he taught them wisdom and knowledge and gave them divine instructions. And he said to them, I have been required to ascend into heaven. I therefore do not know the day of my going. He don't know, but he knows it's coming. He was that in tune with instructions. Verse 25, and now therefore I will teach you wisdom and knowledge, and I will give you instructions before I leave. You got to be willing to always teach instructions, even though even if you're on your deathbed. You're supposed to be willing to teach the law. How to act upon the earth whereby you may live, and he did so. Because everybody you think may have common sense ain't got common sense. You know that, right? Everybody who you think got common sense, they ain't got it. They ain't got it now. You can sit there and think that everybody got common sense just because they talk good and this and that. These people ain't got no common sense. They ain't got no common sense. These people ain't got no common sense, man. Verse 26, and he taught them wisdom and knowledge and gave them instructions, and he reproved them, meaning he correct them. You can't be afraid of correcting people when you know they're out of line. And he placed before them statutes and judgments to do upon the earth. I told y'all the law was already here. The law was already here. And he made peace among them. And he taught them everlasting life. Stop. Everlasting life was already here. It was already here. What is everlasting life? The law. The law. And dwelt with them sometime, teaching them all these things. 27. And at that time, the sons of men were with Enoch, and Enoch was speaking to them, and they lifted up their eyes, and the likeness of a great horse descended from heaven, and the horse paced in the air, meaning it stopped. 28. And he told Enoch what they had seen. And they told Enoch what they had seen. And Enoch said to them, on my account, does this horse descend upon the earth. The time has come when I must go from you, and I shall no more be seen by you. Verse 29, and the horses descend at the time and stood before Enoch. And all the sons of men that were with Enoch saw him. Verse 30, and Enoch said again, ordered a voice to be proclaimed, saying, where is the man who delight to know the ways of the Creator, his power? Notice he was showing possessive, because he knew that the power did not belong to the sons of men. It only belonged to the sons of Seth. But you can take part in it if you want to learn it. So the law that he was giving Israel, and for Israel to be the example on the earth, is not new. He said his power. Let him come this day to Enoch before he is taken from us. In verse 31, and all the sons of men assembled and came to Enoch that day, and all the kings of the earth with their princes and the counselors remained with him that day. And Enoch taught the sons of men wisdom and knowledge, and gave them divine instructions, and he bade them serve the Creator. He pleaded with them and walked in his ways all the days of their lives. And he continued to make peace among them. Verse 32, and it came, and it was after this that he rose up and rode upon the horse, and he went forth, and all the sons of men went after him. And that sound like the story of Jesus? And that sound like they stole that story? That sound like the story of Jesus when he rode among the donkey. Huh? And all the people sat there and followed him with the palms in their hand. Come on, y'all. You got to see the trap, the trick bag what these folks were doing. Huh? And he went forth, and all the sons of men went after him, about 800,000 men. And they went with him one day's journey. Verse 33, and the second day he said to them, return home to your tents. Why will you go? Perhaps you may die. And the sons of them went from him, and those that remained went with him 6 days' journey. And Enoch said to them, every day return to your tents, lest you may die. But they were not willing to return, and they went with him. Verse 34, and on the 6th day, some of the men remained and clung to him. And they said to him, we will go with thee to the place where thou goest. As the Creator liveth, death only shall separate us. Verse 35, and they urge so much to go with him that he ceased speaking to them, and they went after him and would not return. See, a lot of times, family, when people know your presence, it's hard to separate them from you. Even during death, they will not leave from by your side. They will stand with you no matter what you go through, and they will show their loyalty to you. And that's what these people were doing. They were showing their loyalty to Enoch. And they urged so much to go with him that he ceased speaking to them. He stopped teaching them. But he done taught them so much that they were willing to just go with him even if he don't open his mouth no more. Verse 36, and when the kings returned, they caused a census to be taken in order to know the number of remaining men that went with Enoch. See, that's a census. Census ain't new. I keep telling y'all, that's not new. And it was upon the seventh day that Enoch ascended into heaven. That's the Sabbath. That's the Sabbath. That's the Sabbath. That's the Sabbath. Enoch went into, he ascended on the Sabbath into heaven in a whirlwind with horses of chariots of fire. They say that's a spaceship. I don't know what that is. I ain't trying to figure it out. And on the 8th day, all the kings, notice it says the 8th day, because in heavens it only go to 7. The 8th day is here. That's renew. 8th means to renew or rebirth. And that's why on the 8th day, what happened? All the kings that have been what? Been with Enoch sent to bring back the what? Number of men that were with Enoch in that place from which he ascended into heaven. That's rebirth. They're bringing them all back. Rebirth. Verse 38. And all those kings went to the place, and they found the earth there filled with what? Snow. Huh? Found them filled with snow. They found a place where Enoch was, when he ascended, it was filled with snow. And upon the snow were large stones of snow. Huh? Large stones of snow. And one said to the other, come, let us break through the snow and see. Perhaps the men that remain with Enoch are dead. Huh? These people wanted to break through the snow. Shoot the fires again. Shoot the gunshots again. Huh? Shoot it again. They wanted to break through the snow. Rocks of snow. Where's rocks of snow at? Antarctica. Huh? That's Antarctica. They wanted to break through it. And they say the men that was with Enoch is dead. And now, and it says, and now, under the what? Stones of snow. And they searched, but could not find him. For he had ascended into the heavens. I just wanted to give a small lesson tonight. On the next week, on the Shabbat, I'm going to go further into Enoch life. Because a lot of us, we don't realize how powerful these patriarchs were before it even got to Noah. A lot of people don't even know that things was taking place. And there was judgment that was already given on the earth to happen. Next Shabbat, we're going to figure out and we're going to find out that the judgment did not change. So we thank the Creator for you joining me. Those that will look at the lesson later on. because we got to learn what really took place. Huh? We got to learn what really took place. So thank you for joining me. As the Shabbat come in, happy Shabbat, happy Shabbat. So may your Shabbat be peaceful, restful, and relaxful. Remember, tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we're going to have that discussion. Why marriage is dead within our community. We're going to have co-host Sister Akane on the channel. We're going to have Brother James Havisham on the channel. We're going to have Brother Yahathan on the channel. And we're going to have Rising Israel Radio on the channel. Israel Rising Radio. So we thank the Creator for joining us. Like I say, happy Shabbat to each one of you. And if this ain't your Shabbat, thank you for joining me. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Shalom.